Okay.
Can Zack Kassian beat Tom Wilson?
He has the right conscience. He has, first of all, he's got foot speed to keep up. He's got the hockey sense to keep up. And because he can kill penalties and does a good job at it, he understands positional play. But, you know, you're going to have to play the whole year with top players, and then you're going to have to be productive. But he looks, quite frankly, like he's getting better and better, and obviously he's a trusted player by us, and he gets a lot of ice time. You never know. You know, I think he's got a lot of things going for him that you like in that type of complementary pair a lot.
Or does the first line, or do you just rotate guys? You've coached a long time. Is that the way it normally works? You rotate a third player on?
Yeah.
Normally works?
I think the part I liked about Zack was we talked to him before the last two games about holding net front longer, and that's exactly what he did. So I think as long as those players don't lose their identity, I mean, their number one job, Wilson's number one job is to create space, and that's Zack's job. And when they do that, either by staying in it longer at net front, holding people, being really physical, then to me, they stay as long as they can. But when they start losing that, and then all of a sudden the skill goes in before the edge does, then you got to make changes. And I think Zack's held serve a long time now, and he's done a really good job at doing that. And even when it drops off, we just talk to him, and he goes right back to what we need him to be. But it's very effective right now, really effective.
Can you discuss the subject of Nuge and what he brings? And I mean, it's not everybody that can play that third banana part and have the lack of ego, if that's the right way to phrase it, to kind of succeed in it.
Well, you know what, Terry? He's an interesting guy because he plays a 2-3 hole for us. What we call 2+, meaning that if you're on the secondary part of both special teams, that's a 3. So when you see a defined 3, it's usually he's killing penalties as a prime guy, and he's on the second unit power play. Nuge is in a situation where he's on the first unit power play. He really is on either the first or second unit penalty killing, and then we've got no problem playing against top players. So I would say he's what we call a 2+. So he's able to play in every situation, and there's the part I like about him is there's zero maintenance. You don't have to talk to him about playing the right way. You don't have to talk to him about common sense stuff that happens on the ice. But what makes him better than anybody's 3 is because he can run a power play either with that big unit that we've got going now, or even if he has to go and run it by himself, he can do it because he's so smart. So there's a pretty big difference here. I think, quite frankly, his point production is just the tip of the iceberg where he can go to. I don't think he's reached his potential yet. I think there's another gear he can go to, and I think you're just starting to see it.
Well, when you say that, do you have numbers in your head? Is like he's
well, I think when you're a 2+ in this league right now, if you're a 2+, you've got to be 65+ on the points. So you've got to be a threat, getting closer and closer to point a game guy if you're going to be a 2+. And I think he's approaching that now, and probably will continue to grow. I mean, I know he's been here a long time because he started so young, but he's a young player in the league right now, really young player.
Joe had a few chances last night at the end of the game. You had him with Connor and Leon. How badly did you want to see him get his first last night?
Well, between what I want and what the fans want, we got 2 guys, 45 and 22. They all want him to score. And I said this before, Joe's gone up another level. And if he continues to grow, then he looks like a National Hockey League player. And he's got quickness of foot in areas that he was thinking before. Now he's got quickness. He creates separation. which is the biggest challenge coming to the American Hockey League. Can you create separation? This is what this league is all about. If you can't create distance from the scrums, you're just stuck in the scrums all the time. And Joe's able to do that now. And so I'm curious to see over the next 6 games how much he grows, because you could see the step being taken at practice, and then it came into the games, and both him and Josh have taken the next step to become regular players. And you want to see if they can grow into it, because that's a big bonus when you get depth players from within your own program. That's huge.
Ken, when you showed up, Andre Sekera was on IR, I believe. Did you sort of know what what have you seen his value here? Where's his role in this team compared to maybe what you thought when you first arrived?
The only really time I remember him was the little bit he played in LA. And because of that time frame, we thought he was a really patient, intelligent player. What he does with the puck rubs off on everybody else. When you bring patient players in, when you bring people in that have composure, Mark, everybody else seems to have more composure. It's like when you add a defined skilled guy into your group, it seems like you have more skill with other players. What Sekera does for us is he brings the composure level up. So there's no panic under pressure. The part I like is he's not afraid to find the middle of the rink. So every team you play now, the one tomorrow we play is the same way. They're just slamming down on the boards, they're pinching, and you got to use the middle of the rink, and you can't be afraid to do it. And he trusts himself in doing that. That composure has helped, especially Matt, find the middle of the rink, and now we're able to exit cleaner and with more numbers. And a lot of that is because you've got a guy that's 34, 35 years old that isn't afraid of the consequences of putting the puck in the middle of the rink.